Hey, good people. What's going on, good people? Listen, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Make sure it say all so that when I go live, you will get notified. Okay? 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 What's going on? I hope everybody had a great day. I had a great day because I woke up. That part. Listen, I titled this Transforming Your Life. Let's talk about it. You know, when we transform our life, we have to put ourselves in a situation where we are uncomfortable, right? Some of us be so comfortable, and that's why we don't get far because we don't push ourselves to be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? You have to get yourself in an uncomfortable place. Put yourself in an uncomfortable position when you are trying to transform your life. Okay? Listen, you cannot, it's impossible for you to transform your life if you staying comfortable. If you just making sure that you staying comfortable, listen, it's hard for you to change your life if you are somebody who is just staying comfortable. If you always putting yourself in a comfortable place, right? When you want to transform your life, you have to put yourself in a very uncomfortable situations. When we're trying to transform our life, we must put ourselves in an uncomfortable place. We have to. Okay. That's how you get the job done. Is long as you're making yourself uncomfortable, you're going to keep pushing, right? And pushing. You have to. Some people give up when they start getting uncomfortable. Some people want to give up, but you don't give up just because you're uncomfortable, right? Being uncomfortable brings growth. Whether you want to believe that or not, it does. When you're uncomfortable, when you're trying to do something and you're pushing yourself and you become uncomfortable, that's growth happening. So you don't want to give up. Because when you give up, you're going to miss out on the growth that was going to happen. You're going to miss out on it. That's how we transform our life. Okay? That is how we transform our life, is that we put ourselves in the most uncomfortable positions. And when we do that, it makes us, you should push yourself. Okay? You should push yourself instead of instead of you know excuse me y'all for a second, instead of instead of giving up, you should push yourself, because you're going to find that when you're in an uncomfortable place, right, pushing yourself makes you grow. As you keep pushing yourself, even though you're uncomfortable, don't give up. Keep pushing yourself forward, because that's what makes you grow. That's what makes you grow. And that's what helps you to transform your life. Because sometimes I know a lot of people that when they get uncomfortable, they want to quit. That is not the answer. That's the last thing you want to do, is quit. Quitting should never be an option. If I must be honest with you, you should never think about quitting. I mean, seriously, if you're trying to do anything in your life to transform your life, right? The last thing you want to do is quit. And some people are quick to do that once they get uncomfortable. They want to quit. They want to throw their hands up real fast. You don't want to do that. You want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And you're going to find that the more you keep pushing yourself, right, it's going to get better. And you're going to growth is going to start happening, which means you're transforming. You're going to see the transforming start to happen, you know? Then you're going to see things opening up, you know, whatever it may be. You're going to see change start to happen. But one thing you have to do is always put yourself in an uncomfortable place. Put yourself in that uncomfortable position because it's going to make you grow. Just don't quit. Don't throw your hands up and quit. You know, say you open up a business. You open up a business, and I'm just using this for an example. You open up a business, and the business is not really booming the way you would like for it to do, right? Excuse me. It's going to take time. It's going to take time for your business to start booming because you're new. You understand what I'm saying? But what you do is you think outside the box of some things that you could do to help your business get more awareness. You see what I'm saying? Instead of quitting, instead of getting frustrated and saying, man, maybe this ain't for me. Don't do that. Start thinking outside the box. Start saying to yourself, well, what could I do that will put my business more out there? Excuse me, that'll make my business more, aware, bring awareness to my business. What can I do? What can I do different? You know, and you think outside the box and you think of something that you could do that would make you uncomfortable, right? But that will put your business out there on the map. But it may make you a little uncomfortable, and that's okay. But is it going to put your business out there? Is it going to bring your business awareness? You see what I'm saying? And so that's what we have to do. When we doing things in our life and we want to transform, think of things that you could do that make you uncomfortable. Because when you do that, you want to think of stuff. And when you think of something, it may sound a little crazy to you, right? But I would go with it. I would go with it because what's going to happen is that 9 times out of 10, what you was thinking is going to work out in your favor. So I would go ahead and do it. I sure would. I would give it a try. Because sometimes you want to do stuff that's going to make you stand out like a sore thumb. You know? That's what we want to do. If you doing something new, like starting a business or something, you want to do something that's going to make you stand outside the box. That's going to make you show up. You know, like say for instance, they say we having an all black party, y'all. You got to come dressed in all black. But I come dressed in all red. Even though they said black, I come up in the building with all red on. Stop playing with me. Right? The only thing black on me is my shoes and my skin color, right? But I come in all red. Okay? I'ma stick out like a sore thumb. Because everybody supposed to have one all black. You see what I'm saying? But I want everybody to see me. I want everybody to notice me. So I come up in the building with the all red on. Okay? You see what I'm talking about? I'm just using that for an example. But you see what I'm talking about when I say, when it comes to your business and stuff like that, you want to do stuff that's going to make you stand out. And like I said, it may make you uncomfortable, but at the end of the day, if it drew attention to your business or something, then guess what? You did all the right things. Yeah, some shit gonna make you uncomfortable. But that's okay. You trying to get your business out there. It may make you uncomfortable because it's something that you're not used to doing. And that's what we need to do. When it comes to certain things like your business and stuff, you should want to put yourself out there. It may make you feel uncomfortable, but you want to put yourself out there because you want to get more eyes on your new business. So what are you going to do? You going to stand out there in that box and blow that horn? Or what you going to do? You see what I'm saying? You're going to do something because it's going to bring awareness to your business, to what you're doing. And that's what you after. So same thing with transforming your life. You do things that may make you uncomfortable. But guess what? You're growing in the process though. Growth is happening in the process. It may make you feel uncomfortable. It may make you feel, a little awkward or whatever, but at the end of the day, growth is happening. Growth is happening. Your life is transforming. And that's what you're after. You see what I'm saying? So we have to be, you have to be mindful of those things. You know, some of us just throw our hands up and quit. Don't quit. Don't quit. That's the last thing you want to do is quit. Like seriously, because when you quit, you putting yourself behind the 8 ball. You putting yourself like 20 steps behind the 8 ball when you quit. Seriously, you are. And that's something that you don't want to do is quit. And I'm going to tell you something else. I did enough of that for you. You don't have to quit. Because I damn sure did enough of it for you. Quitting and starting. But in the process of me quitting and starting, right? Somewhere in there, I missed my breakthrough. I'm telling you, I missed it. Because I kept quitting and starting. So that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to keep quitting and starting. You want to stick and stay. Don't quit, pinned. Let me see. How do you pin it? Wait a minute, let me see. Oh, okay, here you go. I see it. I pinned it. Yep. But you don't. You don't want to quit. That's the last thing you need to do. We want to keep going because we want to transform our life. So we want to keep going. I did a thing on TikTok yesterday, right? I just want to bring this up because I thought it was something, but I did a thing on TikTok that I normally don't do. I brung up about marriage, okay? I'm trying to think of how I put it. What did I say? Oh, okay. I said something like, oh man. I said something about marriage. I was trying to think of what I said. I said something like, if you get married, oh no, I know what I said. I said, why do people get together? They stay together, they make babies together, and they end up being together for like 10 years, some of them longer, but they won't marry. They won't marry. And I was like, I don't understand that. That's confusing to me. That you've been with this woman and she been with you for 10 years, longer sometime. Y'all done had 2 babies together, sometime 3. And y'all won't marry. I said, I will never understand that. I will never understand that. Well, a lot of people jumped up under my chat, right? And one guy said, a girl, she said, marriage is a prison. So I'm like, huh? So I answered her, I followed up with her question with a video, right? And I said, okay, you say that, that's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. But what I'm going to say is this. You get with somebody and you stay with them all that time you had their baby. You had their babies and everything, right? But then what if something happened to him? What if something happened to him and he lost his life or something? You get nothing. You have no entitlement to nothing. You or the children. You don't have no say so or nothing because you're not married to him. I said, so you saying that marriage is a prison, but marriage gives you secure, okay? Marriage secures you and her, both of y'all, because it could happen either way. Something could happen to her. By y'all not being married, he's not entitled to anything because he never married you. You see what I'm saying? And so I put that out there because that's something that we need to think about because normally I don't discuss stuff like that because I'm old school. I'm old school. And I believe that you should be married before you have your children and stuff. You should be married, I'm not yapping about nothing. Yap your ass up off my page, you booger. Do that. I'm getting tired of y'all disrespectful motherfuckers now. I'm not your grandmother. That's for one thing. I'm not your grandmother. Right. And let me say this too. I wasn't. I wasn't. And my mother put that into us. She told us to be married before we had our children, and I didn't. I wasn't. And I regretted it. You know what I'm saying? It really bothered me. And so I push that now. When I talk to young girls and stuff, I tell them that they should be married before they have kids. I say you should be married before you have sex. Period. Really. But that's how I look at it. I look at it as though you should be married before you even have sex. You say, how do we make it right? Once I had my children, I couldn't make it right. It was, all I did was I repented. I asked God, to forgive me. And that's all I could do. I couldn't go back and make it right. So, you know, once you do it, that's the thing. That's one thing uh you can't make it right. Once you had the babies, you can't make it right. You know what I'm saying? So I just repent and I ask God to forgive me. And and that's all I could do. Hi, me. How are you? That's all I could do, Elman. I couldn't do nothing else, you know? And so I do, though, uh, stress to the younger women that, get married even before you had sex. Keep yourself to yourself, you know? I do. I say that all the time. And that's why I don't hardly discuss it that much, because some people they call it old school. And I don't like arguing about nothing. What you believe in is your business. What I believe in is my business, right? But I don't like the argument. People go too far with some things. So I don't like arguing. But my belief is you should be married before you even have sex. Keep your body until you have sex, you know? Because I beat myself up. I had beat myself up about that, that I didn't get married. And I knew better. My mother talked to me, It ain't like I didn't know, but So I felt so guilty afterwards. I really did. I felt so guilty. And but yeah. But now I do tell younger women that, because I believe you should be married. I believe that marriage makes you secure. It secures you and your husband, and your children. The only thing that I don't regret, I had all my kids by a man of color. Okay. And so I did feel good about that, because I don't like tainting the bloodline. That's just me. I don't like to taint the bloodline, you know? So that's just me. Um, Everybody not like that. To each his own, to each his own, but that's my thing. That's just me, right? I don't like tainting the bloodline. And I'm gonna tell you something. When we really find out who we are as a people, you're gonna understand what I'm saying. Some people not there yet, so they don't really understand. But when you find out who you are as a person, right? The people of color is, you'll realize what I'm saying, and it'll make sense to you, right? But some people, with what I'm talking about, some people not gonna understand it. Some people do, some people don't. But yeah. That's one thing I didn't do. I did feel good about that. I didn't taint my bloodline. So I did feel good about that. But yeah. Um that's why if you notice a lot of women of color if you notice, now you got some now that will date outside. But think about this. You got a lot of women of color who won't date outside, don't want to date outside. Think about that. There's a reason for that. Okay? There's a reason for that. It's a reason behind that. So, you know, that's why it's like that. It's not how can I put it? I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to put that. But yeah, if y'all notice as men, as y'all being men of color, you notice that the melanated woman does not like to go outside her, you know, don't like to go outside dating. You know what I mean? And like I said, there's a reason behind that. There's a reason behind that. They start with I see more women of color doing it now, right? But like in my younger days, I didn't see a lot of women dating outside their race. I didn't. But I see it now because I hear a lot of women say some men treat them bad and, some men of color treat them bad and stuff like that. I understand that, but I still feel like you shouldn't hold your experience against all men of color. You know what I mean? That's just me. I feel like when you pick the wrong man, it's because when you pick a man that doesn't treat you right and stuff like that, it's because you are broken and damaged. You are broken and damaged from something you might have went through in your childhood, or or your teenagehood. Something you went through caused you to be broken and damaged, which caused you to go out there and find somebody who don't treat you right. And I'm a firm believer that when you start loving yourself, that sets boundaries for you to find the right person who's going to love you right. Okay? Because when you start loving yourself, you stop letting people treat you any kind of way. You stop letting people hurt you, you know? But a lot of times, some of us be hurt. We be broken and damaged. And that's why we end up picking someone who doesn't treat us right. But you can't hold that against everybody. You can't hold your experiences against everybody, you know? And so that's why some people look at marriage the way they look at it, because they've been hurt in their marriages. They've been hurt. But my thing is, if you keep picking the same man, these same type of men, then it's not the man, it's you. It's you. But see, if I was to say that, if I'd have came out and said that to somebody, then they would have been saying, oh, she trying to be a pick me, and stuff like that. You know how they do on the internet, But I'm gonna say what I gotta say. I don't care about what they say. But if you keep picking the same man, the same type of man that don't treat you good and, do bad things to you and stuff like that, then it's not the man, it's you. It's you. That means you don't love you. That's what that means. You don't love you is the reason why you keep picking the same kind of men. Just think about it. It don't take a rocket. It don't take a science. Come on, think about it. If I go out there and I keep picking a man, that curses me out and disrespects me, right? But I keep picking them. I keep picking that same man over and over again. That means there's something wrong with me. I got the problem. I'm broken. I'm damaged. You see what I'm saying? It don't have nothing to do with the men. It's the fact that I keep picking the same old man, which means I'm broken and damaged. There's something going on with me that I need to fix. Just simple as that. But some people, some people don't want to accept that. Some people don't want to accept the truth about nothing. That's the problem. That's the problem. You try to talk to people because you want to give them things that's going to help them, right? But you got so many people that don't want to listen, and they get mad when you speak truth. They get upset, you know? And I'm like this. I'm not going to stop speaking truth. If you get upset, you just get upset. You just get off my page. Get off my channel if it upsets you. But I feel like everybody needs to learn how to take accountability. You see what I'm saying? You gotta learn to take accountability. And you gotta learn that you're not always right. You're not always right. So, and if you want to make your life, better, you gotta learn how to accept truth. You gotta be able to take constructive criticism. That's a part of growth. When you learn how to do stuff like that, that's a part of growth. But we got so many people out here that don't want to accept that. They just don't. And so I'm like this. It's your life, and you're gonna do what you want to with it. And I feel like this. If a person keep on running into that damn wall, eventually they're gonna get tired. Eventually they're gonna get tired, and they're gonna figure out the right thing. That's all I can say about that. But if you want to keep running into that wall when somebody trying to tell you something right, you keep right on. You'll get tired eventually. You'll get tired of bumping your damn head on that wall over and over again. And you'll start trying to do what's right, But yeah, that's how it be though, That's how it be. And I just hope that, some of us just get better as we grow and we get older. I hope that and pray that we grow as people. I learned the truth about us, about people of color. I learned the truth about us. And when I first found out the truth about us, man, I was hurt. I was hurt. I was angry. I was hurt. I cried and everything. And I knew when I heard it, I knew it was the truth. You can hear something. And when you hear it, you know if it's the truth or not. You know it. You know if it's the truth or if it's a lie or if it's I don't know about that. But it made me feel, oh man, it made me feel so vulnerable. I cried, then I got angry. But it was the truth. It was the truth. It was the truth. It fit like a puzzle. Everything that was said to me, it fit together like a puzzle. That's how come I knew it was the truth. And what I felt deep down inside, the way I felt, I knew that it was the truth. It was the truth. It's a lot about us that we don't know. It really is. It's a lot about us that we don't know, that we need to know, because it will, let me see, it will change how you look at yourself. It will change how you look at yourself if you find out the truth about yourself as a person of color. It will change how you look at yourself. It will. It will. You will never go back to that stuff again once you learn the truth about you. You will never go back to that again. You won't. You won't. You won't. You won't. Like, seriously, you won't. You'll never go back to sleep, as they call it. Once you find out about you, you'll never go back to sleep again. Mm-mm. One thing I'm going to leave y'all with is that we some very powerful, powerful people. And everything that we got, and we got everything that we need right inside of us. Everything that we need is inside of us. It really is. It really is. You just got to tap into it. But everything you need is within you. Is within you. And it's awakening that's happening. A lot of people are waking up and finding out who we really are and what we really about. A lot of people are waking up, finding out. I tell you that. And it's a beautiful thing. It really is. If you're alive, it's a beautiful thing to be alive right now. It really is. I'm telling you. But yeah. I'm going, y'all. I had got off of here, and then I came back. I thought about something that I wanted to say, and so I came back on here. I did, because I wanted to just share that with y'all right quick. But I love y'all. Hey, keep your head up. Stay prayed up. Keep your head on the swivel. And I will holler at y'all on the next one.